Right then, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Assetto Corsa F1 Championship here at the foothills of Mount Fuji, here in Oyama for the Japanese Grand Prix at the Fuji Speedway. My name is Mina Nevji, here in the commentary booth today, and joining me for the first time in the ACOC is none other than Alex Broster. Good evening to you, Alex, or konbanwa, shall I say?
Yes, good evening, Miran. It's very nice to be here, and I'm ready to see who could win in Fuji.
Yes, Formula 2 at Fuji. This is the first time the ACOC visits the Fuji circuit. We've got 20 minutes of qualifying ahead of us. Summit Özkan's the first out on track. But before we get underway with the qualifying session here, let's go through some of the track details then. So the Fuji Speedway, located in the foothills of Mount Fuji in Oyama in the Shizuoka prefecture of Japan. This circuit was first opened in December 1965. Originally, it was meant to host NASCAR here, actually. It's hence the name Fuji Speedway. Obviously, that never happened, and the circuit began to host sports cars and then Formula 1. And today it hosts series like the World Endurance Championship and races like the 6 Hours of Fuji, Super GT, Super Formula, and the Formula Regional Japanese Championship, among some others as well. But onto the track then. So we got a track length of 4.563 kilometers, 16 turns, and a race lap record around these cars would be somewhere in the 124s, 125s. Obviously, Formula 2 has never raced here, so I can't give you a I can't really give you an estimate. But a lap in the Super Formula cars, which would be probably the closest equivalent to these cars, is a 121.3 set back in 2020. But yeah, we can't know for sure how fast these cars are gonna lap. But Alex, your first time in commentating for the ACOC, then how are you feeling?
Honestly, I'm a bit nervous, mate. But honestly, I think that I can probably maybe do a good job. But yeah, Fuji should be a very interesting track since we've never raced it before.
Yeah, it definitely could be. Obviously, Fuji, if you think back to Formula 1, when that used to race here, obviously we're going to come here with F1 tomorrow, but when Formula 1 used to race in real life, obviously we had quite a lot of exciting races. And yeah, I am probably expecting a quite good race from Formula 2 here today, as this circuit has some pretty interesting corners as well. You got the first corner, turn 1. It's called the first. The right-hander, pretty good overtaking spot. You can continue that into turn 2 and turn 3 Coca-Cola. Then turns 4 and 5, then turn 6. And yeah, it's honestly just a very flowing circuit. And yeah, you can have some great battles through here. And then obviously sector 3 is a bit more technical. You've got the Dunlop chicane of turn 10, 11, and 12. And then the flowing corners from turns 13 through 16. So, yeah, now we have the first few times on the board then. It is Summit Özkan who set the benchmark time, a 1:26.2, as Richard Sundevik, not too far from home at the moment. Obviously, Sundevik running dual nationality. So one part Swedish, one part Korean. So, yeah, he's not too far from home. But first few times are coming in on the board then.
Yeah, and we're just watching Matija Dragovic now on his first lap. He is going through sector 1, only 1.5 tenths off of Sundevik. So he may not be able to improve on this lap. Antonov goes 3rd, and Shatanis goes 4th.
So yeah, sometimes being posted on the board then, as Fernando Toss sets in a lap time there. Behind him is the ART of Mehmet Demiroglu, who goes P9. Then it's the two Tridents of Fernando Tost and Eduardo Silva. As there in the background is Alex Broster as well. And then Idevite, who goes P6. So everyone just going round the start-finish straight to set their lap times then, as we got 3 drivers yet to set a lap. Daniel Fraser set his lap. Håkan Olsen goes P7. And I believe it is the two. I believe there's Nikita Waldi, and I think final card to cross the line is Jakub Sikorsky. So those are all the 20 times on the board at the moment, and it is none other than Rickard Sundevik himself on provisional pole at the moment with Jakub Sikorsky in P2. Now, Alex, considering Sundevik's performance in Formula 2 this season, he scored absolutely 0 points just up until last race at Monza. Do you think he's actually going to be able to keep that pole considering his qualifying record?
Well, again, this is a very new track to the ACOC, so I reckon that anything can happen here. But considering his previous performances, I really don't think he can keep this pole.
Yeah, Sundevik not known as much of a qualifying specialist, but we'll see if he's able to keep that pole. Obviously, as you said, Alex, a very new circuit. As Mehmet Demirol across the line goes P19, disappointing for the Turkish driver to be that down low, as everyone is just going out for their second run. Somewhere into the pits, Antonov, Shotanas, and Weitz into the pit lane, as Jean-Francois below the Frenchman P6 at the moment, as there's Adam Heda going P8, and Sundevik has been dethroned by none other than our first Formula 2 race winner, Daniel Fraser. So a very, very interesting top two at the moment. It's almost like it's reverse grid, as Daniel Fraser is on pole from Rickard Sundevik in P2, provisionally, of course.
Yeah, Daniel Fraser is actually last in the championship with only scoring 1 single point for Carwin, and Carwin are last in the constructors with 25 points, with the majority of those points being scored by Ide Weitz.
Yeah, if you think about the team game in Carlin at the moment, you can see that Weitz is the front runner at the moment. But yeah, Fraser still has that talent in him. Everyone knows that. I mean, you think back to his performances like barring 2017. Obviously, that was a great drive. Started P6 and then won the race. But yeah, Fraser's not really been able to perform in 2018. So let's see if he's able to kick it up into gear today here at Fuji. Meanwhile, as Luca Farina is on a lap time here, the current championship leader at the moment from Italy gets down to P17 as Mehmet Demirol goes P16. But Farina only has 1 corner to go. Turn 16 Panasonic as he rounds the final corner then.
Yeah, keeping in mind that Dima Antonov is only 4 points behind Farina, so that gap could really swing in the favour of Antonov, and he could potentially be leading the championship come the checkered flag.
Yeah, Antonov obviously had a pretty good race back at Monza. I can't say the same for Farina as he goes P10. Obviously finished out of the points in his home race, which has got to be disappointing for the Italian, as Jafari Blackwood goes P8. But yeah, Farina finished out of the points, and Antonov was in the podium, I believe, which allowed him to close that championship gap up to 4 points. So Antonov could still very well be in the championship fight here.
Yeah, I mean, going back to the championship battle, up until a few races ago, Kaj Shrezhny was actually 3 points behind Antonov and Farina, and I believe he was actually leading his championship for most of the season until he got a promotion to Formula 1 with BWT Force India.
Yeah. Well, the crazy theory is if Shrezhny had stayed in Formula 2 and how much he would have dominated by, but either way, you could say that he's got the call up a bit earlier than intended. As we see Rosetta Martinez coming into the pits, we got about 11 minutes remaining in the session. Here's Rowan Shotanas. He's going to start his lap. As he crosses the line to start his lap, he's got the 2 Carlins behind him. He's got either Weitz and Weitz starting his lap, and Daniel Fraser, the pole sitter at the moment, who's just finished his lap there. Rickard Sundevik on an out lap as well. Jakub Sikorsky is on his lap here, but I think he's got Sundevik there just ahead of him, so Sikorsky could encounter some traffic here.
Yeah, at the minute, some very, very unlikely names towards the top. I mean, the likes of Sundevik, Fraser on provisional pole at the moment, and Sikorsky right in the middle of the championship. Well, very, very impressive showing from those guys so far. And as we watch Alex Broster in P9 at the moment on a lap. He's getting impeded by a dams there, so I think this lap will not be good.
Yeah, I believe that might be Matija Dragovic. Yes, it is. But yeah, it is a very unusual top 3, and it has just turned a bit more usual as the Mountain goes P2. But what I wanted to say was, yeah, it was a pretty unusual top 4. Yeah, obviously you don't see... it's not every day you see Daniel Fraser on pole position and Rickard Sundvik in P3. As he's P4 as Rowan Shotanus goes on to provisional pole, but it's been topped by none other than Ide Weitz by a 1/10 of a second. And yeah, as we were talking about the top 3, it has completely changed.
Yeah, I honestly don't know what's in the water here at Fuji, but there's a lot of shock laps from some of these drivers. Weitz being the lead car win, nonetheless, but he is 17th in the championship, so this is very, very unexpected.
Yeah.
For someone,
had you
someone
told someone, yeah, definitely. Had you told someone 5 races ago that Carlin would be 1st and 3rd in qualifying at the moment, they wouldn't believe you. But Ide Weitz, our professional pole at the moment here in Japan. Obviously, Weitz, I guess he likes Japan quite a lot, so it's I guess he would have practiced for this circuit. But either way, that is the Swedish driver on pole position, a 1:26.008. So I think we actually might be able to get into the 125s here as well. What do you think, Alex?
Well, I do think that he can possibly maybe improve in a swap in because he would quite need it.
And we have seen an improvement, and is none other than Rickard Sundvik himself.
Özkan third.
Yeah, Özkan 3rd, but it is Rickard Sundvik who takes provisional pole back from Ide Weitz. I cannot believe it that I would say this sentence, that Rickard Sundvik is challenging for pole position in Formula 2 this season. But here he is, and he's proving us all wrong. And I think we have got a completely, or not a completely, but we have got a Swedish top 3 at the moment. We got Weitz, Özkan, and Sundvik. Sundvik obviously running half nationality, so he's technically Swedish. But yeah, it is still a Swedish top 3, and as a Swedish person myself, I can say that I might be quite happy. But yeah, I think that it's probably not going to last quite long, as we have someone who's going to cross the line now. It is Gabriel Gomez in P17, as there goes Rosetta Martinez up to P7, carrying on that good qualifying streak as Gabriel Gomez crosses the line, only manages or can't improve. But yeah, with 7 minutes remaining, I misread that, but 7 minutes remaining in this qualifying session, Alex, I'm gonna ask you the same question again. Do you think Sundvik's gonna keep the pole?
Well, considering the absolute unbelievable scenes we've seen so far, I do reckon he has a chance now.
Yeah, I definitely think he does. Like, we've never seen Sundvik challenge for pole since Bahrain 2017, and then he had a really bad race and he fell down to last place after some tire issues hit him, I think. But Ide Weitz in P2, I think P2 might be his favorite spot since we've seen him there so many times. But yeah, he's on an outlap at the moment with teammate Daniel Fraser in P5. The question is, well, if anyone can dethrone Rickard Sundvik, who is currently the only man to eclipsed into the 125s at the moment.
Yeah, Sundvik looking very, very quick today. Very, very unlike him, considering he is towards the bottom of the standings. And, well, the only real person that could give him a challenge at the moment is Ide Weitz, who is only about 500ths behind him.
Yeah, either way, if Weitz does not take that pole, and assuming he doesn't crash in the race, I think it'll still be some quite good points for Ide Weitz at the top. I think he can throw his hat into the ring in the Formula 2 Championship standings. Obviously, where even is he in the Championship standings? He is... let me just check that real quickly. He is P17, so I actually might reconsider saying that. But Yeah, Weitz could definitely gain some good positions and maybe get into the top 10 in the championship standings. Someone who's getting into the top 10 in qualifying now is Mehmet Demiroğlu, who goes P10. So good lap from the Turkish driver. They are T's both in the points at the moment. Jean-Francois below P7 and Mehmet Demiroğlu P10. As Luca Farina, championship leader down in P17. As Dima Antonov's P6, that is definitely going to hurt Farina's championship challenging, so he wants to get into the top 10 as soon as possible. As Fernando Tost improves, P18 for him, as he improves just ahead of Dragovic and Gomez, P19 and P20 for them. I think that's most likely we're going to see those two. No offense to them, obviously, but they're not the biggest qualifying specialists, if I had to say so myself. As here's Ron Chatanis on a lap.
And as he goes through, we see some Ozcon now in third place. He's just about to cross the line now. Can he improve at all? And the answer is no. He stays P3.
Yeah, that is Summit Özkan staying in P3. Then Rikan Chunning was not able to improve on his lap time. I believe Dima Antonov is just going to start his flying lap here. Yes, he does. As we've got a few of the cars there behind. I think there's the ERT of Mehmet Demiroğlu there at the back. Yes, that is, as he's going to cross the line. Let's see where the Turkish driver goes, as he can't improve. There in the back is the Dams driver. I believe that is Håkon Olsen. Yes, it is. So it was Walji and Olsen, neither of the two able to improve. As let's see Luca Farina then, as he heads through the few final corners in Sector 3 through turns 14 and 15. And now on to the final corners. Fernando Tosco's P11 onto the final corner, Panasonic, as we're going to see where or what it will be for the Italian, assuming that he doesn't abort this lap.
I think he may be pulling over into the pits, but I think he will finish
no, he
his lap.
isn't. Yeah, he's going to finish
Yeah,
this
he's going
lap.
to finish his lap down the very, very long main straight. And it's going to be a 1:26.3, which is only good enough for P16.
Yeah, unfortunate for Farina. He's really not been able to improve. Let's see if this man is able to improve, though. Samet Özkan crosses the line. Nope, no improvement for the Swede in the Russian time, then. As Matija Dragovic, next person to cross the line. Let's see if he can improve. No, he can't. So not a lot of improvements on the board at the moment. Dima
Antonov stays sixth. Stays sixth for Dima Antonov. As we see Demiroglu about to cross the line. Can he improve at all? Nope. Stays 10th.
As there's Håkon Olsen as well, crossing the line. No improvement for him. I think that's either Weitz in the background. No, that's Daniel Fraser. He's going to start his lap. But you can't see the Weitz in the background just there. As I think that is Rowan Shotanos, might that be, in the BWT Arden. Either way, that's Jafari Blackwood attempting a move on the Arden driver into turn 1. As we see a nice little demonstration of the Fuji Speedway and its overtaking capabilities.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure why they're going side by side in qualifying, but I mean, they could have had an agreement to do this to maybe warm up for the race.
Yeah, maybe. Either way, I think Blackwood is eager to get past for track position. As we can see, Luca Farina in P5. That's more like it, Luca. As Luca Farina up into the top 5 then. And 2 places up on his championship rival Dima Antonov. That is definitely what Luca Farina needs.
Yeah, Farina, once again, proving why he is the current championship leader. And boy does he. And boy, was that a very good lap. Well, still not good enough to eclipse Sundivic's lap, but still very good from the Italian driver.
Definitely, as Antonov crosses the line there, can't really respond to Farina's lap time. Let's see Daniel Fraser, though, he's able to get back that P5 as he's going down the main straight, and he's going to cross the line here. Let's see what it will be for the British Daniel Fraser as he crosses the line, and it's pole for Daniel Fraser. No way has he been able to do that. Jafari Black with his P2. What an incredible development in qualifying with 15 seconds to go, as it's Daniel Fraser who's taking a provisional pole here at the Fuji Speedway. What is this qualifying session?
Honestly, I don't know what's going on, but Daniel Fraser, take a bow, mate. Take a bow. P1. Wow. I
As the
mean,
checker flag... Yes,
Jafari
checker flag.
Blackwood is improving as well.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Qualifying, the battle for pole might not be over yet, as Jafari Blackwood is on yet another lap. Can the Jamaican take pole position, or will it equal his qualifying best of P2 here at the Fuji Speedway for the first time in the ACOC? And I mean, what a treat we are being shown here today at Fuji for the first time in the ACOC. As the checker flag is now out, we're going to see Dima Antonov as he's the first car to cross the line. A lot of people in the pit lane. Sundevik, Weitz, and Özkan, all three in the pit, so they can challenge for pole. Let's see Dima Antonov, though, first car to cross the line. No improvement for him. There in the background is the Dams car of Håkan Olsen. Olsen's into the pits. Meanwhile, we got a few other cars here to cross the line. Jafari Blackwood, this is going to be an important lap to watch. As Daniel Fraser...
He's going to the pits.
Blackwood's into the pits. Yeah, he's aborted his lap. He's going to be P2. Daniel Fraser's going to cross the line. No improvement for him. He stays on pole where he is. Rowan Shotanis, though, is going to cross the line. No improvement for him either. As that is the final car. Gabriel Gomez into the pits. And I think that might just be Daniel Fraser on pole position for the first time in his career. We're going to wait confirmation for that. As I believe Dima Antonov is on a lap, but I think he's already finished actually, so I don't think that matters. And yeah, either way, he's not on a... He's not improving here. And yes, we have confirmation, and that is Daniel Fraser on pole position here at Fuji. So
Yeah.
let's go through the let's go through, not championship standing, sorry. Let's go through the starting grid then before lights out here at Fuji. So we'll go 4x4 then. So it's Daniel Fraser. 1 point in the championship standings. That's definitely going to change this race for sure, as he takes pole position here at Fuji, with Jafari Blackwood lining up in P2. Rickard Sundevik is P3 with Ida Weitz in P4.
And then in P5 is Samet Ozkan, P6 Rowan Shotanis in the BWT Arden, 7th is Luca Farina, and 8th is Dima Antonov, 2nd place in the championship in the MP Motorsport car.
Jean-Francois below is P9 with Rosetta Martinez rounding out the points in P10. Eduardo Silva P11 with Turkish Mehmet Demirolu in P12.
And it's an all-Polish 7th row in Fernando Tost and Jakub Sikorski. 15th is the Canadian Nicole Walji, and 16th is Gabriel Gomez.
Adam Hilliard is P17 with Håkan Olsen in P18. Alex Broster, disappointing qualifying for him between the Dams cars, P19, and the last car on the grid is Matija Dragovic. So let's get underway with the race, shall we? As we've got 6 lights here at Fuji. It's Daniel Fraser on pole, but can Jafari Blackwood do anything off the line? As we've got 6 lights. And we're on our way here at Fuji. As everyone getting off the line then as I think it's Fraser who leads then. He's got a pretty good start there. Blackwood in P2. He's going to challenge on the inside into turn 1. He does. As they're side by side for the lead already into turn 1. Blackwood on the inside. Heading into turns 1 and 2 now. As Blackwood just able to remain ahead on the outside. Is he going to be able to take the lead into turn 3? As he goes on the outside. And I think he has taken the lead. Yes, he has. Jafari Blackwood leads the Japanese Grand Prix for the first time in Formula 2. And it's Blackwood who leads from Fraser, Weitz, Sundevik, and Shotanis. So Weitz has gone up into 3rd place. As here's Jakub Sikorski in the meanwhile, falling down a few positions as he's doing with Jean-Francois below to try and get up into P10. Luca Farina in the meanwhile, falling down a few positions as well. He's trying to get his championship rival Dima Antonov, who crucially has overtaken him. But Farina now under pressure from Rosetta Martinez, last time as race winner at his home race Monza. As they go back and forth, Farina trying to get Martinez, but Martinez has gotten up into P8. As there in the background is Sikorski dueling with Jean-Francois below. Sikorski on the outside of the Frenchman, as I think he's gotten him as it's the experienced Formula 2 driver versus the Formula E champion. Below going a bit off the track there. That's allowed Eduardo Silva to try and creep past the Frenchman as they head down the long start-finish straight. On to lap 217, it's Jafari Blackwood who leads from Daniel Fraser, Ida Weitz. There's Adam Hidayat. And no, that's Alex Broster actually. Going left and right, trying to get past Matija Dragovic for P18. Håkan Olsen as well. As I think there's 3 wide into turn 1. Is this going to really work? As Olsen... Oh, and they make contact. Olsen has to back out of that. But, yeah, 3 into 1 didn't really work there. as all of a sudden now under pressure from Nikhil Walji. Daniel Fraser in the meanwhile trying to get Jafari Blackwood, but he's keeping... Blackwood is keeping Fraser close at bay here, as Ida Weitz is in P3. It's going to be a double Carlin podium, as Alex Broster now are taking Nikhil Walji. Broster has had a pretty good start here, actually. He's making some fancy little overtakes into turn 4 now, 100R, and Alex Broster is ahead. Good stuff from Alex Broster, but as he might actually be trying to move here on Håkan Olsen. But Alex, what do you make of that start then?
Yeah, fantastic move down the inside for Jafari to take the lead very early on, and Daniel Fraser, to be honest, is keeping him pretty, is keeping him at bay, is keeping him pretty busy at the moment. As we see there, Nikhil Walji is getting harried by Hidayat, and Hidayat's gone all the way around the outside. Fantastic move.
Yeah,
wow.
that was very impressive from Adam Hidayat. As we see Rikard Sundevik in P4 at the moment. He could be chasing his first podium in the ACOC here, as he's chasing down Ida Weitz on the straight. He's got the DRS. Is he able to make a lunge into turn 1? No, he doesn't. He stays behind the Swedish driver for now as we approach lap 3:17. Daniel Fraser has set the fastest lap here. So we could see fortunes turn around for Fraser here, and he might actually still challenge for the lead. Here's the battle for P19 though. Walji versus Dragovic, as the Serbian trying to hold on to the Canadian to turn 3. Dragovic gonna try the outside. I think he tried to switch to the inside there, but Walji just kind of defended there, and that is Walji staying in P19 and Dragovic staying P20. So both of them holding station, as Jakub Sikorski is now trying to get Luka Farina. If Sikorski does get Farina here and they duel, that is only good for Antonov, because theoretically I believe he is going to take the championship lead with standings like this.
Yeah, I do believe Antonov can take the championship lead, or at the very least level the point standings going into the next race, and that would be very good if he wants to try and get a seat in Formula 1.
Definitely, I must say Antonov and Farina both are equally deserving of a Formula 1 seat. I mean, they've absolutely proved their skills here in Formula 2 this season, especially Antonov and Farina. I mean, Farina is a 2-time winner. Antonov has had so many great performances. I mean, if you think back to Bahrain 2018, the first race of the season, he absolutely swept the floor with everyone. So, yeah, it was a great performance from him. But now, as we approach lap 4:17, Jafari Blackwood setting the fastest lap then here at Fuji. Is that Gabriel Gomez who's going to go for the move on Fernando Tost there? He is, as he's going to try it on the inside of the Polish driver, as they go side by side into the first corner onto turn 2 then. Gomez tucking in behind Fernando Tost, not able to get him. Samet Özkan actually is catching up to Rowan Shotanis here. Could we see Özkan making the move on Shotanis?
Well, Özkan is keeping Shotanis very honest at the moment, and he could possibly get the move done into the straight, but he'll have to keep up if he wants to do that.
Yeah, he definitely will have to do it, as Özkan's all over that rear box. Rear box? Am I dumb? He's all over the... I keep mixing up a rear and gearbox. He's all over the gearbox of Roman Shotanis at the moment, but I think so is everyone else, because I think Shotanis is driving a bit slowly at the moment, and I think there might be a bit of a train forming behind Rowan Shotanis here, and we all know how it is in AC with trains here, as they all head down the main straight, obviously very, very long, so we might see some moves here as they head down the main straight. Samet Özkan trying to get Rowan Shotanis, as Jafari Blackwood setting yet another fastest lap as we approach turn 1. Ooh, Özkan having a bit of a look there on Shotanis, maybe trying to scare him there into making a mistake, as Martinez here is trying to move on Diamantro. This is good for Luca Farina, as Martinez is going to try to swing around the outside. We know that overtaking ability of the Filipino Rosetta Martinez, as he goes on the outside. Now it's going to be on the inside as they head through the hairpin, and Martinez is ahead. Nice from Rosetta Martinez, and that is him up into P7.
Yeah, Martinez really carrying the Campos team at the minute. Already got 2 wins, and his teammate will probably be feeling pretty nervous at the moment for his future in Formula 2.
Yeah, definitely. Campos, Campos have been quite a one-man team, if you think back to it. You think 2017 they had Tomas Mandic, and 2018 they had Now they have Rosetta Martinez. I don't know what 2019 will hold. Maybe we'll see Alex Broster make a breakthrough performance. No offense to you, Alex, or your driver, but yeah, let's just say you're maybe not the number one in the team at the moment.
Yeah, I've accepted that by now, so there's no worries.
As we've got the field pretty bunched up still, as everyone's trying to settle into the gaps and see where they are at the moment. As Ida Weitz there, you can see the timings on the left. He's at a personal best, so he might be catching his teammate Daniel Fraser here. So we could see the two Carlins duel for the P2 here. Obviously, I think it's better if Weitz gets the P2 because he's ahead in the championship standings, meaning that Carlin are going to score more points. Either way, this is going to be really good for Carlin as they're P2 and P3 at the moment. And Daniel Fraser is somewhat catching up to Jafari Blackwood here. But the question is, do you think Daniel Fraser is going to get Jafari Blackwood here?
Well, he hasn't won for over a year, so... But anything can happen here at Fuji, since this is the very first time we've been here in ACOC. But I do think he could possibly get in, considering his pace in qualifying.
Yeah, but yeah, I definitely do agree with you there. You can't really predict this at the moment. I mean, it's the first time we've been in Fuji. We don't have any previous experience of this track. We've never seen any serious racing here, so it's a first in the ACOC for everyone here. And yeah, Fraser then, I think he's got a pretty good exit out of Panasonic there. Let's see if he is able to get Blackwood in the slipstream. Obviously, Fraser is going to be a bit under pressure because he's got none other than Ida Weitz himself in P3 at the moment, the Red Bull reserve driver. And
yeah, I think this is the last thing anyone would have expected to see both Carlins on the podium.
Yeah, definitely. As I said, had you asked someone 5 races ago if you thought Carlin would be second and third in one race, they would have laughed, I think. I mean, I certainly would. But yeah, Fraser and Weitz P2 and P3. I think it's going to be a bit of a good feeling for Daniel Fraser, considering his awful performances in his eyes in F2 at the moment. As they head through the middle sector now, you can see as Fraser he's doing very good in the high-speed corners. He's actually got a very good exit here. Is he going to try the move? Oh, actually brakes there. I think trying to avoid going into the back of Jafari Blackwood, and that might have actually lost him a bit of time to Ida Weitz behind. But the question is Weitz going to play the team game here, or does he want the spoils for himself? Obviously, when we see teammates behind each other in the ACOC, you take if you think F1 at the French Grand Prix 2018, where Alexander Arnold was leading, and then Jesper Johansson was P2, and Johansson overtook him. With teammate rivalries, and as a thing in the ACOC, do you think that either Weitz is going to hold back on Fraser and let him have the P2 for the team, or do you think Weitz is going to take the spoils for himself and try to propel himself up in the championship standings and try to take that P2?
Well, in my honest opinion, he could possibly just absolutely go for it and get past his teammate Fraser, since considering past events with a teammate v teammate being an absolute free-for-all. So Ida Weitz could potentially just forget the team game and just go for Fraser.
Well, yeah, speaking of teammates, Weitz has had some pretty interesting teammates. Obviously, he's had, well, let me think, actually. 2017, when he raced at Rapax, the now defunct team from Italy, he had none other than Lawan Sosnishka himself as his teammate. And, well, we all know what happened to Lawan Sosnishka. He made his debut for a little team known as Mercedes-AMG Petronas, which landed him a seat with Williams in 2018. It was very unexpected, but he made his debut in F1, and now Weitz... And then I think Weitz had... let me think here. Will Parrish as a teammate in Abu Dhabi, and now he has Fraser as his teammate. So overall, I think he has had a pretty interesting history of teammates. A lot of different names.
Yeah, Laban is now in F1 with Williams, but to be fair, he's in a pretty similar position to the likes of Daniel Fraser, but that isn't down to his driving, it's down to the machinery he's been given. Williams has been very uncompetitive since the years of like 2014.
Yeah, definitely. I also would like to pose a question about Ida Weitz. I would say that Ida Weitz is one of the top drivers in F2. I'd say maybe even the best driver in F2 that hasn't really advanced to F1 yet. Or, well, we don't know yet. I mean, you saw his performance in F1 at the Belgian Grand Prix. I mean, he overtook Alfred Klaus, for crying out loud, out of all people, to take a podium with one race in F1 and with no F1 experience whatsoever. That is seriously impressive. I must say that I think Ida Weitz deserves a seat in the Toro Rosso for 2019. But either way, transfer news will obviously happen at the end of the season, so we'll see where everyone ends up, and I think it will be still quite interesting to see where everyone's gonna end up as they approach the main straight. Then the leading three, as Weitz looking to get Daniel Fraser on the straight here, but yeah, lap 10 of 17. Do you think Blackwood's gonna take the victory here?
Well, again, he's got two Carwins behind him, and he may be sweating at the moment. So I think he may keep his composure, since he's probably quite consistent, being fifth in the championship. So I do think he can possibly take the win here for Charouz.
Yeah, definitely. With this win as well, Blackwood could throw his hat into the ring and take the championship league. I actually think, yeah, actually he might. I think Blackwood might be about P2 or P3 in the championship standings. That is obviously if he does win here at Fuji. So Blackwood, with this victory, is going to throw himself into the championship fight here. So we could see Jafari Blackwood be in the talks for the F2 championship victory here.
Yeah, and I actually can confirm to you now that Jafari Blackwood would actually become championship leader, considering where Antonov and Farina are in this race currently, because he has got a 21-point gap to Farina at the moment, and he will probably be leading by about, as I've just need to do the maths here, 2 points.
Wow. Well, I mean, when we were going into this race, obviously we were talking about, oh, who's gonna come out on top, Antonov or Farina. I don't think we would have expected Jafari Blackwood out of all people, but a welcome surprise nonetheless to think that Jafari Blackwood is the championship leader, or is gonna be the championship leader, obviously. Yeah, that is pretty cool. I mean, he's never led a championship before, not even a race, I think. But it's going to be his first win of the season. And I must say, Charouz have been doing incredibly well this season for the first year in Formula 2. I mean, it's going to be a Charouz 1-2 in the Formula 2 championship standings. And I mean, they're just going to roll over everyone in the team standings as well, I think.
Yeah, honestly, everyone's hoping for maybe a championship battle between the two Charouz teammates, similar to Hamilton and Rosberg all those years ago, and well, Jafari Blackwood will take the lead of his championship if he can hold his position and fend off the two Carwins. I do think that we can see a very feisty championship battle between Antonov, Farina and Blackwood brewing up at the moment.
I definitely agree with that. I mean, you think back to Abu Dhabi of last year in Formula 2, we had 7 drivers, 6 if you discount Lavos Nishkai, who were able to win the championship mathematically. So, yeah, and then it turned out to be Tomas Mandic. Obviously, we had a pretty good championship battle last year in Formula 2 as well. You think Linus Timel and Tomas Mandic, obviously both of them are in Formula 1 now. So here's actually a battle. So back onto the track. Here's Håkon Olsen trying to move on Gabriel Gomez.
Yeah, Håkon Olsen very not having the best season with them so far, but he is trying to go for P15 ahead of Gabriel Gomez, and I think he's got it. I think he has managed to get him. Yeah, yep, he's done. Yep, that's move complete, P15.
No, it actually might be, because here's Gabriel Gomez on the inside, actually. So that was quite unexpected. But Gomez on the inside is going to turn into the outside as they head through the 300R, as it's called. Gomez to the outside. I thought it was going to try to switch to the inside there, but he stays behind Olsen. So yeah, that is Håkon Olsen up into P15.
Yeah, I mean, we would have wanted to see more.
That is a move. That is Summit Özkan. Look at that. That was Summit Özkan just speeding past Roman Shotanus, and that is the Swedish driver up into P5. But he's now got a gap of 1.7 to Rickard Sundevik in P4, and we got about 5 laps remaining in this Japanese Grand Prix. So the question is, can Summit Özkan catch up to Rickard Sundevik here?
I mean, if he will be very much in the podium fight, and he would probably need that to keep up with the top drivers like Blackwood, Walji, Antonov and Farina, even Martinez and Demaroglu. So I think he will want to try and catch up to Sundevik as soon as possible.
Well, I mean, I must say, some of these Formula E drivers are performing incredibly in their first season of F2. I mean, yeah, Kai Cherezhnia. I mean, what is there to say about Kai Cherezhnia? He's in F1 now, so I guess that just speaks for itself. Well, I mean, the highest placing former Formula E driver is Mehmet Demiroglu in the championship standings. He's 49 points in P7 at the moment, with his former Formula E teammate Eduardo Silva in P8 at the moment with 47 points. And Özkan is Özkan obviously not a Formula E driver, but Özkan is on 45 points at the moment, so he's the lead Russian time driver. But his teammate Jakub Sikorski is only 4 points behind him. So, but I think people did expect a bit more out of Jakub Sikorski, considering that he was the 2017 Formula E champion. But
yeah, I mean, the Formula E car and the Formula 2 car are two very different cars, considering Formula E is an electric car championship. And as we see there, that's Rosetta Martinez going past Ron Shotanus now, up into P6 for the Filipino, or can Shotanus fight back? They've got to go side by side, and I think Shotanus has managed to defend for now.
yeah, good defending from Rowan Shotanus then, or I think it's not quite over, as Rosetta Martinez on the inside from absolutely nowhere. That was like a car link between the two, but Rosetta Martinez actually ahead for P6, so Shotanus is falling down positions now, and I think he may hold up Dima Antonov here, actually, and that might be good for Luca Farina, because then that might allow Farina to make a move on Antonov if they catch up, as Jakub Sikorski has got a bit of pressure behind. He's got Brazilian Eduardo Silva just ahead of us. Was that Silva trying to move there? I don't know. That looked a bit sluggish from Silva. Either way, here's Alex Broster. He's caught up to Gabriel Gomez. Could we see the Brit make the move on Gabriel Gomez here? He's quite close, but I think it's just a bit of a train here behind Gabriel Gomez. So no one's really able to get past the Brazilian.
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty much acting like a brick wall at the moment. No one seems to be able to break him down and go on through, because he's literally pointing that car very well into every corner, but it's only for P15, it's only for P16 or P15, so I don't think it would really matter in terms of a championship at the moment.
Yeah, here is Jean-Francois Bilot then, with the Renault stickers on that ART. Obviously, he is the Renault testing reserve driver in F1, obviously. He has the experience, I guess, so, or not the F1 experience, but the F2 experience. Obviously, he is a race winner, and he has scored some quite good points this season. He has been, one thing I would want to say about Bilot is that he has really improved his consistency this season, it must be said. Even though his rookie teammate Demiroglu is outscoring him, I must say Bilot has really improved. Even though he's not got a victory, he has still got a few poles. So I'd say if he improves his race pace, then I think Bilot could definitely be in for a championship challenge, to say the least.
Yeah, Bilot 10th in the championship, 42 points, keeping himself very, very honest at the moment. And, well, I think he'll be happy with wherever he may finish in the championship, because anything's an improvement from last season.
Yeah. Obviously, Below only has one race win to his name, and that was at the 2017 Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Fun fact about that race: um, that was the only race which wasn't hosted by Turtle Rowan. Yeah, no, Turtle or Rowan. So yeah, pretty interesting actually.
Mhm.
Or no,
Very.
that is false.
Oh,
The only race which wasn't hosted by Turtle, Rowan, and Eric are Formula E or former Formula E host, which was pretty interesting. Alfred Klaus hosted that race, actually. So, but yeah, Below took the win there, and it was an ART 1-2 that race. It was Jean-Francois Below who took the victory there, and his then teammate Yash Parmar, who was in second place. But enough reminiscing about the past. Let's focus on the present. As Jakub Sikorski is actually catching up to Luca Farina. So Farina, I think his pace seems to be dropping here. Maybe he's used up his tires or something. Either way, that is the Italian who's struggling for P10 at the moment. As Nikhil Waldi, I think something has happened to Nikhil Waldi. Where is he?
yeah, I think he's retiring from the race since his name is in red, unlike the rest of the drivers. So I think he is the first and probably only retirement of the Japanese Grand Prix. So I think he will be out the race.
Yeah, there is the retirement message. That's Nikhil Waldi out. I believe he must have made contact with Dragovic or something, because we saw the move change there, and then that was Waldi going out of the race. But either way, that is the Canadian out on the final lap of this Grand Prix. As yeah, shame though, but it wouldn't have costed him much, as he was running in last place.
Yeah, not very good for Nikhil Waldi, considering he is fourth in the championship, and he will probably get overtaken by Jafari Blackwood. Now that because Blackwood's almost certainly going to win the race now, because he is on the last lap, going in the final section. Here he is now.
Yes, would you like to take the honors?
Yeah, and he's going through turn 15, I believe now, and he's heading into the last corner, and he's heading into the last corner now. Fraser still within a second of the Jamaican driver, but it will not matter. Sikorsky goes up to 9th in the meantime, but it is going to be Jafari Blackwood to take his first ever, I believe, race win in ACOC. Congratulations to the Jamaican driver, and congratulations to him as well for becoming the championship leader.
Yes, that is Jafari Blackwood. As look at this, a photo finish. As we've got Eduardo Silva and Luca Farina to the line. And Silva, ooh, is he gonna get it? No, he doesn't. So
Farina just about.
Yeah, Sikorsky was able to get
points.
Yeah, Sikorsky was able to get that P9. Luckily, Farina was at least able to hold on to that P10. But Anton, this is going to be good for Anton once he finishes P9. But yes, let's go through the championship standings then. Or not the championship standings, sorry, the final race results. So, it's Jafari Blackwood who takes the victory. His first ever in the ACOC, as you did say, Alex. And it's Daniel Fraser. An incredible P2 for him. I think he's going to be delighted with that. And teammate Ida Weiss in the P3 with Rikard Sunevik. His results are really picked up. He is P4.
And in P5 it is Samet Ozkan in the Russian time. And in 6th place it is my teammate Rosetta Martinez in the Campos. Very good result for him. P7 Ron Chatanis in his, I believe, second race in Formula 2. Very, very good result for him. P7, some more points to his name. And in P8 it is Dima Antonov. Not good for him, since Blackwood is now championship leader.
Yeah, Jakub Sikorsky is P9, Luca Farina is P10, and can we get a look at that gap? That was 0.02 of a second between Farina and Eduardo Silva in P11. That is incredible. As Jean-Francois Below is P12.
In P13 it is Mehmet Demiroglu, and behind him was Fernando Tost. Then it is Hakon Olsen, and 16th is myself.
And the final 4 cars on the grid are Gabriel Gomez, Adam Hidayat, Matija Dragovic, and the non-finisher was Nikhil Walji. So that is it for the Formula 2 Japanese Grand Prix. Thank you so much for watching. It has been a very exciting race, hasn't it, Alex?
Yeah, absolutely. Plenty of overtakes, plenty of shock finishes, and obviously, maybe this track could be here to stay for a long time now.
Yes, yeah, I hope it really does. We've been treated to great racing here today, and I can't wait for Formula 1 here tomorrow. I think it is gonna be a treat. But yes, thank you so much for watching. I've been Miran Evji, he's been Alex Broster, and we will see you tomorrow at 9 p.m. European time for the Formula 1 Japanese Grand Prix. So